a first. Hopefully it won't be a last. But I'm sticking to the COVID rules, and I'm in a location not far from where I live actually, in South Yorkshire. I'm going to do a wild camp in my bivvy. Just got myself a Alpkit Hunka XL, so we'll see how XL it is. See if XL's tonight in the bivvy. I actually made a last minute decision to ditch the tent and go a bit local and try the bivvy out. So, but in the process, kind of made a bit of a rookie error really, because I don't know what I've packed really. I just packed loads of stuff. So, and yeah, this rucksack is quite heavy. I think I weighed it in at about 2.5 stone, which is I think within the limit of 20% of my body weight, but it feels like it's more like 50% of my body weight. Not used to carrying this much, but I've not got far to go. Maybe I don't know, maybe a mile or two. I don't know, 2 miles, probably something like that, in some local woods. So hopefully my legs will last the distance. This is actually the remains of an old railway line, believe it or not, which served some of the pits around here, and long since closed. I think this pit near me, I think closed in the early 90s, so it wasn't one of the immediate casualties of the miners' strike in that era, but it came shortly after, I think about 7 or 8 years maybe after that. So yes, this is what's left of it. It's actually quite a steep hill. It's not really big, but it's sort of rises from the valley below quite quickly. I think this hill was actually could be man-made by the look of it, possibly from all the rubbish that was brought to the surface in the mine here. So like a lot of these places, they get converted into very muddy nature reserves, tree planting and so on. So there you go. Speaking of miners, my dad was a miner back in the 60s and 70s, I think, a long time ago, before, well, not quite before I was born. And he came out of mining in the early 70s, about the right time, I think, for the fact that what's left of it is very little. Certainly in South Yorkshire, the mining communities were so hard hit. I think many of the issues caused by that, 5, 6, 7 years of closures, and they're still felt today. And so much effort and money has gone into trying to regenerate those communities. Whew. And a lot of it to good effect, but still I think there's very much a residue of what now is almost 40 years ago. It's a long time, isn't it? 40 years. That's how much of an impact that had, and that's without me being in any way whatsoever political about the whole thing. Just in case anybody from Nottinghamshire watching. From the top of here, which is not far from here actually. There's quite a decent view across this part of South Yorkshire, and when you look across the view to the left is where the sun rises, and to the right is where the sun falls. So tempted at some stage to do a bit of a wild camp, maybe a bivvy on this one. I think this is where I should be having a rest after walking up that hill. So there we go. Here's that view. I don't think it's that high really. Still a good view though. Yes. Onward and upwardish. Note to self: don't put this coat on next time it's boiling. I'm going to wear just my base layer up this hill. I think it's about 15 degrees. What an idiot. Nevertheless, I'll dry off pretty quick, so not a problem. I guess it would be a problem if it was like 2 degrees or something. So that'd be a bit chilly then. Anyway, coming up to the camp location now. That's the camp bivvy location. I actually bought myself a an OEX Fox 1 V2 and tried it out last week. Great little sort of bivvy tent, I think you'd call that. It's a stealth camping tent. Loved it, it's great, nice and cosy. Can't sit up in it, but great for retaining body heat. And the only problem was that they'd not manufactured one of the clips in the ground sheet, so I took it back and replaced it with hopefully one with a clip included. But it's a great little tent, 1.6 kilograms, which is okay. I said okay, because I think for another half a kilogram I could have gone for the Fox 2, which is a 2-manner, and nevertheless I did get a 2-man tent though, which I'll tell you about some other time. But anyway, the Fox 1 V2 is very much packed away until next time, maybe. I might have to do a few more of these if this one works alright on the edit. If I do, I'll have to think of a catchphrase, you know, like welcome to the glorious South Yorkshire, and more specifically this hill that I'm on at the moment and these woods, which shall remain nameless. That was a slight steal, not a slight steal, a big steal from a rather infamous YouTube vlogger who I avidly subscribe to and follow. Anyway, there we go. I'll have to think of something imaginative and creative and unique, if that's possible. So I've set up in the woods, and just thought I'd show you my my equipment, my gear, which is the done thing to do, isn't it? So here we go. This is just a little Magic Carpet DD XL tarp, which I've just suspended on a wire, just to, because I think it's going to rain tonight. So, and I've got this here. I'll come round without killing myself on the guys. This is my Sea to Summit Camp Mat SI, which stands for self-inflating, and for those people who know about self-inflating mats, it means you inflate them yourself. They're supposed to inflate themselves, that's a joke by the way, I'm not very good at those. The mat underneath, which is the wrong way around, sorry, the sleeping bag, is a OEX EV400 Phantom, which is very warm, and I think tonight it might be a little bit too warm because it's not going to get too cold. And then that's my Alpkit Hunka XL, which I'm trialling for the first time tonight, and by all accounts it's a pretty neat piece of kit, so I shall give that a go. I'll get it all in a minute, just to show you first. A bit of a cheap or reflective thing, and I've just got a survival bag underneath just to stop myself from getting pronged by everything underneath there. And I think we are good then, apart from the fact that I just need to set up the rest of that and tidy that lot up there. So I'm all set up and comfy, just had a cup of coffee, and these tailless coffee bags are pretty neat. If you're a bit of a miser, you can actually make them last for 2 cups of coffee. And I'm going to make it last for 2 cups of coffee. So I've got, I'm on my own at the minute, but I've got a friend of mine, Andy, coming in about maybe an hour. But we're starting to lose a little bit of light now, so thought I'd get one last little clip in before it goes dark, and I might even get some dinner on. I've got some beef stew that I made myself. I put some tinned chili con carne in a plastic container to bring it with me, and I thought, when I looked at it, it kind of looked like dog sick really, so it didn't look particularly appetising, so I thought I'd go for the homemade stew instead. I think that's the winning ticket, so I'm kind of looking forward to that, although it's a little bit early for it, so I'm going to wait until I'm a bit hungrier. Morning. That was an interesting night. I'm not too sure whether this wind's going to make this audio terrible, but I think we've got about how strong would we say the winds are? Up to 40 miles an hour. That's probably a little bit of exaggeration, maybe 35. Oh, is it? Oh, is it? Okay, 40 miles an hour official. We got up in the middle of the night on numerous occasions to adjust the tarps, various configurations, all of which failed miserably. But the kit succeeded gloriously, warm as toast, and yeah, managed to get. How much sleep did you get, Andy? 3 hours. I might have got a bit more than that actually. I got maybe 2 hours initially, and then 2 hours last minute. Yeah. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, like completely soaking wet with the rain. But this Alpkit Hunka XL did the job, so happy days. This is a social distancing walk, Andy.
Oh yeah.
So it's straight on here, I think. So that was a very windy night, and
I seem to remember that's the way back to my car.
yeah, I know it like the back of my hands, this place. Yeah, shame we work down here. It's peaceful down here. So this is a bit of a space there.
Yeah, but see the size of that tree trunk?
Yeah. So, good night though, good night. That's what I'll be saying to the wife when I get back in. Good night, get some sleep.